Nepal. For many, it's a destination. For me, it was a question. I'm not a mountaineer, but the mountains have always been an escape, a place where noise fades and something inside me speaks louder. Walking for hours, breathing thinner air, letting discomfort strip life down to its simplest form. Sometimes I wonder why we are drawn to this, why suffering feels meaningful, why exhaustion feels honest. I didn't come here just to see the Himalayas. I came to feel them, to understand what remains when the world falls silent. And that search is what led me here, to Manaslu. This is where it begins. At the airport in Kathmandu, being welcomed by people whose work has shaped how the world sees Himalayas. Being a Sherpa behind high altitude stories told on Prime and Netflix. Gilche Sherpa, a name spoken with quite respect in the mountains, and someone who's climbed these giants time and again. And Adriana Brownlee, the youngest climber to summit all 14 8,000 meter peaks. Legends by any measures, and these are the best in the business. Yet standing here, there's only humility. I first met them a year ago on Annapurna Trail, and Everest was just a dream I spoke about carefully. And together, I understood something important, that Everest doesn't begin on Everest. It begins by learning how your body listens at 8,000 meters, by respecting altitude before chasing ambition. Manaslu was the perfect beginning, so here we are at Manaslu, starting the journey of a lifetime.
This part of my life, there's always been this other part of me that belonged to the mountains. I grew up around them in Dehradun since I was 13 years old. I've always dreamt of climbing some of the world's highest peaks, and it has always been there in the back of my mind. So that pull, that calling, it always has driven me to come to mountains. And now, being here, standing at the start of the journey to Manaslu, which is the 8th highest mountain in the world, it feels like the right beginning. Also, Manaslu is known as the mountain of spirit, so that's exactly how I see it. This isn't about a summit for me, it's about the spirit of the mountain, the humility it teaches, and the quiet it carries. So it's taken a lot to get here, the training, the year of preparation, a lot of support, and I'm really grateful for the people around me, especially my family and friends who supported me throughout the journey. For me, this expedition is not just about climbing up, it's about looking within, and I hope this journey we can share with whoever is watching, that this is just the beginning, and we'll see how it goes. I hope you come along for the journey with me, so let's go.
Manaslu, the 8th highest mountain in the world. For me, climbing has never been about numbers. It's about freedom, and the growth that comes from within. This mountain became our training ground, 4 weeks of rotation, long walk to base camp, and a summit push. Seven of us from different countries, different lives, and different paths. Yet somewhere along the way, we aligned around one goal. Step by step, strangers became teammates, and teammates became something closer. I was lucky to find the right mountain and the right people to learn what it truly means and to move higher together.
AGA started 3 years ago. We started originally as a trio, hence the name. So it's Adriana, Gelje, and Asha.
My name is Gelje Sherpa, and I climb like all the 14 peaks, and I'm the youngest person to like climb here during winter. And I'm first person to open like new route from Nepal side, like Mount Choyu. Normally like climb from the Tibet side. Okay, can I try that? Yes, thank you. Oh wow.
When we reached Kathmandu, we found out there was a social media ban in Nepal, and with it, a Gen Z protest was growing. People were speaking against corruption. The city felt restless. We were already planned to leave a day early. Only later we heard how violent the protest became. And it hit us. Leaving one day before had quietly saved our schedule and maybe more. From Kathmandu, we flew by heli towards Samagaun. The noise of the city fell away and the land opened up below us. Ridges, rivers, wide alleys, and then the mountain getting closer. Samagaun, a beautiful village and the place where our trek truly begins. Samagaun, a village resting in the shadow of Manaslu. Quiet, grounded, unhurried. Here life moves differently. The mountains decide the pace. We stopped not to rest but to listen. A short hike to acclimatize, letting our bodies learn the altitude, letting our minds slow down. We walked through the village, simple moments, familiar faces, a calm before what lay ahead. Because we knew the next day the trail would lead to base camp. So we prepared, checked our gear, packed carefully, and in Samagaun, anticipation doesn't feel loud. It feels heavy.
So we'll have breakfast around 7 a.m. Okay, and then we'll be leaving here at 8 a.m. On the dot. Okay, so the plan is to try and reach base camp by lunchtime. All right, if we leave later, then it'll be about 2-3 o'clock. We don't have a packed lunch or anything, so we'll just go straight. Valuables and a warmer jacket and maybe some light gloves as well.
Like, not too much of the community, like contact. Yeah.
We left Samagaun early, 6, sometimes 7 hours on the trail ahead. No rush, just steady movement. We walked as one, sharing the pace, the weight, the silence. The valley opened around us, waterfalls carving their way down the rock, bridges swaying gently beneath our steps. This was the nature we came for. Raw, unfiltered, unapologetic. Every break reminded us, progress isn't about speed, it's about staying together. And with every step forward, the mountain felt closer.
this is me. We're gonna shoot the entire tent. Let's see how that looks. AGA has done some amazing job. This is how the tent looks. I've already got my duffel bags in, one small and one large one. Come in. And then we have got a shoe-case, a trash can. Looks amazing. So looks like this is a stacking area where we can put off our shoes. And then take a look at this. Oh.
Lunch.
Wow. Oh, that's you, Tony.
If it was any other day,
I'll just put it like this. Yay.
Done as a team to get us here today. I mean, every single person here in the expedition was like absolutely blown away when they walked into the base camp, because they did not expect what you guys have done and what you've constructed over the last 2 to 3 months. I mean, it's just amazing. So I mean, a massive well done to you, and thanks from all of us.
So like he's now like main chef for the base camp. So, like,
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Before we climb, we pause. The puja ceremony, a moment to offer respect to the mountain, to the gods, and to the journey ahead. Here at Manaslu Base Camp, this place became our home. Not just tents and ropes, but a space we would return to day after day for the next 3 weeks. And slowly, something changed. Sherpas dancing, laughter carried by the wind, shared meals, quiet encouragement. What began as a group of individuals started to feel like a family. This is where the real training began, walking together during rotations, learning each other's rhythms, and celebrating every small success. Base camp isn't just where you prepare to climb, it's where you learn who you'll climb with.
तिमी जस्तो राम्री कोही छैन संसारमै मारोकीका चिरै मैना
Training days are humbling. Heavy summit boots, crampons biting into the snow, or sometimes not biting at all. I struggled at first, missteps, slips, small failures. And that was the whole point. Adri was there through it all, patient, observant, encouraging, turning mistakes into lessons. This journey isn't about getting everything right the first time. It's about staying open to learning. Step by step, the movements began to make sense. Confidence replaced hesitation. And somewhere between falling and trying again, training stopped feeling like practice. It started feeling like play. After the blessings, we began our first rotation. The goal was simple: climb to Camp 1, sleep, climb to Camp 2, and then come back down. But nothing about it felt simple. The air thinned quickly, breath came harder, my pace slowed. This was my first time moving this high in crampons, and it showed. Step by step, I fell behind the group, and for a moment, that was difficult to accept. But then something shifted. This wasn't a race, this was acclimatization, this was learning. And by the time I reached Camp 1, last in the pack, I understood why we were here. Every rotation teaches you something. You adapt, you grow, and then you do it all over again.
Even that climb, you never mentioned that everything that we learned yesterday will be tested today.
That was easy, Abhinav.
Right, yeah, very
That was
easy.
nothing compared to the training.
I was just dead for 5 minutes, yep.
It's just the altitude.
The next morning, we moved again from Camp 1 towards Camp 2, but the mountain had other plans. Heavy traffic stretched the route ahead, and patience mattered more than progress. So we made our call to turn back, not out of fear, but respect. Sometimes the strongest decision on the mountain is knowing when to stop. And so we descended back to the base camp, carrying the lesson with us.
Not like one, just like they back down like
2.5.
2.5, just like
Okay.
kind of like directly to down to like zero.
but
It's very
so
dangerous.
whoever's wearing the oxygen can always communicate with the Sherpa
Yeah.
to decide, okay, I need more or less.
Yeah.
But surely it doesn't hurt to have more.
For this amazing expedition, all the climbing partners, friends, everyone in the kitchen, Sherpas, cameraman, so much for tonight, for the birthday cake and everything. Really appreciate it. Alright, hopefully all will summit.
It's been about 2 weeks we have been in this expedition, and honestly feels a little tiring, but at the same time excited about the summit push. It's been a crazy journey. We did 2 rotations to Camp 1. Ideally we wanted to go touch Camp 2 and even Camp 3, but the weather didn't allow us, but it's still good. So taking good so far, but excited for the summit push. I guess the team is amazing, the morale in the team is amazing. So and our guides Adriana and Gelche have been supporting us all throughout. So I would say it would have been much better if we would have gone to Camp 2, but not a big deal. I mean, we still are. We still went to and saw the big push from Camp 1 to Camp 2, which is like a vertical push. So still excited about that, and I think the team is still confident that we'll still make it. So yeah.
And tomorrow we're heading to like Camp 1. The after tomorrow we go Camp 2. And Camp 2 to Camp 3 is not so far away. It's still like 2 to 3 hours. Kati लाग्ने छ आज?
For the Sherpa, they took like 1 hour.
Yeah.
So that means they say like 3 hours.
3 hours.
Yeah, for you it's like half an hour. And like from like 3 to like 2 to 3 is like around like 3 hours. From 3 to 4 is like they say like 6 to 7 hours, depending on how you guys work. But like from Camp 3, we're using oxygens. If you guys have any problem, like any something symptoms like sickness, health symptoms, tell your guys. All the time your guide is like with you guys, and maybe you guys can use like some point like if you feel hard till Camp 3 also you can use oxygen during the walk. But like during the sleeping, you guys can sleeping without oxygen. Only you have got some bad condition or something like this, you guys can use oxygen.
After the first rotation, we returned to the base camp for rest and reflection. Oxygen checks, training drills, learning how to recognize warning signs. But the mountains also give you something else: time. Time to listen to yourself. I looked back at my pace, asked for feedback, listened carefully, and one idea stayed with me. A steady pace matters more than a fast one. Breath over speed, consistency over force. That night, I slept with that thought, knowing the next time we moved up, I would definitely move differently. When it was time for summit push, something felt different. I wasn't rushing. I wasn't holding back. I focused on my breath, on rhythm, on staying steady, and without realizing it, I moved ahead. For the first time, I reached Camp 1 first, almost 30 minutes before the rest of the team. They asked if something was wrong, but nothing was. I wasn't breathless. I wasn't forcing it. I had simply learned. That day, I understood something clearly. The journey is more mental than physical. Once the mind adapts, the body follows. I never looked back after that, not to see who was ahead or behind, only to remember what I had learned and how far that lesson could take me. After the night at Camp 1, we moved to Camp 2. This time, I was alone, walking through ice, listening only to my breath. This was the hardest section for me. 7 steep Jumar points, ice walls that demanded patience. But I kept the same rhythm, the same steady pace, and it worked. As I climbed, I realized something simple. Sometimes you fail one day and succeed the next day, only because you chose to learn. And that's true on mountains and in life.
Where is Jon Snow?
Hello.
Jon Snow?
Yo.
Cheat?
Hey?
When did you reach?
We slept at Camp 3. Up here, even boiling water feels like work. 30 minutes just to warm a cup. The air was thin, food was simple, everything was slower. AGA handled all with patience, making sure every detail was taken care of, even when energy was running low. The next morning, we moved again towards Camp 4. 8 long hours, reaching late into the night. There was no real sleep here, only preparation. Oxygen on, headlamps ready. At 2 in the morning, we stepped out into the dark. As I climbed, something shifted. It felt like watching a film of the entire journey. The hard days, the lessons, the people who carried me here. Gratitude rushed in, emotion followed, and step by step, through the cold and the silence, I reached the summit. Throughout the summit and descent, Angsaki was with me. Every step, every decision. After nearly 48 hours awake, we reached Camp 1 and stopped to reassess. The route below had changed, energy was low. Together, Angsaki and I chose to wait for daylight. We found a little food left behind, some Pringles, a few chocolates, enough to get through the night. We slept there in our summit suits, and lying there, exhausted and still, I understood something clearly. Reaching the top is never a solo moment, it's built on trust.
Hey guys, I'm at Camp 1 right now on my day, on my way down from the summit bush. Exciting day yesterday. I planned to head back to the base camp, but then there wasn't any light. Me and my guide and Saki, you can see there, are currently at the Camp 1. And yeah, this is where I stayed. This is how it looks. It's a tent that used to be functional, but not anymore because after summit everything goes back down to the base camp. So I guess I'll be now heading back in about 5 minutes. And Saki just made me a good cup of tea, hot tea. And then hopefully we should be at base camp in hour and 30 minutes. That's it. Pretty rough day. It's already started snowing outside.
I came to the mountains thinking the climb was the goal, the summit, the altitude, the achievement, but Manaslu had other plans. It tested me in ways I didn't expect, in silence, in exhaustion, in moments where progress felt painfully slow. I learned what it means to fail, to fall behind, and to sit with that discomfort instead of running from it. I learned that speed means nothing without rhythm, that strength fades but consistency carries you forward. There were days when breathing felt like work, nights when sleep felt impossible, and moments when turning back was the bravest decision I could make. But there was also laughter, patience, quiet encouragement. A team that became a family, guides who led with humility, and trust, the kind that holds you steady when mountain asks everything of you. Somewhere between base camp and the summit, I realized this journey was never about standing on top. It was about listening, adapting, learning who I am when comfort disappears. The mountain didn't give me answers, it gave me perspective. And that's why it keeps calling me back. Not to prove something to the world, but to understand something within myself. This wasn't the end of a climb, it was the beginning of a deeper way of moving through life. Because in mountains, as in life, the real summit is who you become along the way.